If you create content for your blog or for your website, you most likely wonder, how do I get my blog posts ranked higher on Google? And you're in the right place, because this is exactly what we're going to go through in this video. We're going to discuss some of the most effective tips that helped us rank our own blog higher on organic Google search results, even for the most competitive keywords such as digital marketing checklist. So let's just do it. Naturally, the first way is to come up with a list of keywords that you would like to use. And there are a lot of ways to approach this. You can start with going to some thematic forums, for example, Quora. And yes, this is still a thing in 2020, and hopefully it will be still popular even in 2021 and in the upcoming years. So simply head over to the search box there and type a keyword that is relevant to your company and to your industry, and you'll see what people search for in relation to your business. Another way is to use Google's keyword planner tool. In our previous video about landing pages, we were coming up with the content for our own landing page, and you can check it out and see how we used it there. Another strategy could be to use Wikipedia's table of content, and the same goes with Google's searches related to. You'll see what people look for in relation to your subject. Also, if you use any kinds of SEO software, for example, we use Moz, there is a keyword suggestion section there, and you can find tons of useful keywords there. And lastly, simply talk to your own personnel, to your own employees and co-workers. Any kinds of customer-facing people, could be your customer success team, your support team, because they know exactly what your customers ask and what they are curious to read about. As soon as you compiled a list of the keywords that you want to use, now is the time to start utilizing them properly. The first tip here is preferably put your most relevant keywords right at the beginning of the title. And the second tip is it's recommended to use the relevant keywords in the first 100 words of your content. This will just help Google grasp the content of your webpage way faster. The next step is to come up with so-called the concept of buyer personas. Simply put, you have to have a clear understanding of your target audience. You have to know what kind of online behavior they have, what kind of tone of voice to use to appeal to that audience, because this way you can create exactly the type of content that will resonate with them, and they'll be more happy to spend a lot of time on your blog. And that is also a very important ranking factor that we are going to discuss a bit later. They'll be also really happy to share your content on their social media with their network, and as a result it will all sum up and boost your Google organic traffic. I know that some marketers are a bit hesitant to create longer content. However, a study by SEMrush confirmed that longer content actually performs better. And well, that makes sense, because the longer your content is, the more keywords you can add there, the structure of your content will be just better, and also online users typically tend to bookmark longer content more often. They are more willing to share it, and this kind of content usually gathers more backlinks. This is what we've also seen with our own blog. All posts that have more than 1,000, 1,500 words tend to perform much more better in comparison with quite compact and short pieces. "53% of mobile website visitors will leave your website if it doesn't load within just 3 seconds. So page speed is a really important ranking factor for Google. So here I'd recommend you to talk to your web developers, to someone who built your website, and to check your page load speed. A good way to start with this is to check your current overview with Google's Page Speed Insights. Google doesn't just search for images, it searches for images with alt text. That's why it's really important to add the right keywords to the title of each image that you use and to optimize your image descriptions. When we create our website content, we use our own Liana CMS for maintaining the website content, and we have a handy SEO section there where we make sure that we optimize all keywords for each and every image that we utilize on our blog. If you want to create SEO-friendly websites and maintain your website content with little effort, you can book a personalized demo with our specialists and just see for yourself. The link will be below the video. The next step is to make sure that they stay on your blog longer and they don't navigate back to search results immediately after landing on your page. What you can do here: enrich a multimedia experience on your blog. For example, add some infographics, video content, some games or even quizzes, depending on your content, of course. Another tip here is to structure your content better, use a lot of bullet points, quite clear headlines, shorter and more clear paragraphs. And of course, plan the first sentence of your blog or the first paragraphs of your blog more carefully to make it more enticing and to make them stay longer. Your next task is to make sure that among all search results, they click specifically on you. So how can you do that? The first tip here is to try to aim for so-called feature snippets. And in order to do that, you can come up with compilations of all sorts. For example, top best hotels in your area. And the next tip, quite simple, just come up with more emotional headlines. Make them a bit longer and more descriptive. For example, add some brackets or parentheses whenever needed. So something that really stands out in the search results. Which of these two URLs would you pick in terms of being more SEO beneficial? And yes, you're right, the short one wins here. So a URL that is quite short, that has the relevant keyword, that does not have any extra subfolders, is more SEO friendly and is more favored by Google. The skyscraper technique has been introduced by an SEO guru, Brian Dean, a while back, and it has been proven to work quite well. So in case you want to try it for your own blog, in a nutshell, there are 3 steps to approach it. Step number 1, you do some competitive research and you find the top performing content on your competitors' blogs. Step number 2, you use this content as a base and create a more thorough, more detailed, more keyword-rich, more interesting content based on that. And step number 3, you make sure that you promote this content quite well. Creating high-quality content is only half of your SEO journey. The next step is to make sure you promote your content to the relevant audience. There are multiple ways to approach that. Well, on the one hand, you can reach out to the companies mentioned in your blog. Usually, people and companies are really happy to be referenced somewhere, so they are willing to share your content on their social media or among their connections. On the other hand, you can find blogs similar to yours and reach out to those blog editors, to those companies, and suggest your blog as a guest publication for their blog, or suggest your existing blog article as an addition to their current pieces. Mentions of your blog on others' blogs can significantly improve your search rankings. However, quite often, unfortunately, companies mention you without linking back to you. So if you spotted a case like that, you can kindly reach out to them and ask for fixing the link. We've done that ourselves many times by using a social media monitoring tool. It has been proven that Google allocates a lot of importance to social media signals in ranking. So don't just limit yourself to sharing only on your company's social media profiles. What you can also do is, for example, share your infographics or other visual material on Pinterest. And this is what we've done in the past. And a lot of other blog visitors have shared our infographics on their personal Pinterest accounts, and we've got a lot of referral traffic from Pinterest. What you can also do is, for example, share your presentations on SlideShare, also share your content on other industry relevant communities, and also encourage your own employees to share your content more actively from their own social media profiles. Hey Siri, what's the best camera for YouTube videos?
Okay, I found this on the web for what's the best camera for YouTube videos. Check it out.
Thank you. So, seems like the future of SEO is voice search, and don't miss this opportunity. So, make sure you optimize your content for voice queries, especially how-to. And also optimize for local search results, because nearby directions make up a good amount of Google Voice searches. Google loves fresh content. So a good strategy here would be to find your top performing content that is not that modern anymore, that is a bit outdated probably, and simply refresh that content. So what you can do is fix all broken links, restructure it a bit better, make it more thorough. Perhaps if you didn't have any visual material, you can compile an infographic based on the points that you discuss in the blog article, or just enrich it with more visual material. Make sure that you add a note that your content has been updated. It also positively impacts click-through rate. Because this well-performing content has already accumulated enough authority, enough web page visitors, it gives Google much less time to actually grasp the content, and the rankings will start growing way more faster. That was a lot of material to digest. We hope that you've made a lot of useful notes for yourself, and now your next task is to start optimizing your blog content ASAP. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next videos. Bye-bye.